Welcome back to my video series on patching the generative Polykrell. So then here's a quick look at some of the destinations that we've got running. So here is our old school Z8000. It is running 4 separate CV sequences like we talked about in the last episode, and it's moving at half the speed as the clay sequencer and the A155 sequencer. So for each of its steps, the 8-stage sequencers will take 2 steps. And I've got its 4 outputs here on this side controlling 4 different aspects of our mix. So starting from the bottom CV output controls the reverb type from our Valhalla reverbs running on the tip-top Z DSP, and that's just a single CV cable that pops over there, and then you can modulate its program types with an incoming CV. Second from the bottom modulates the length of those reverbs as well as its tone, how bright those reverbs are. And then second from the top, I'm using that output from the Z8000 to control the A107 morphing filter type that our counter voice is using. So I'm just going to bring in the counter voice, and then we might hear its filter change when the Z8000 steps forward. And it's as simple as picking a sequence of filters on the A107 and then dialing it in using the knobs on the Z8000. Really simple to get it set up. And then the very top CV I've got reserved for scale type. And so then if we zip over here, here we've got our IntelliGel U-Scale. This is the original version running the latest updates. And I've got it there. We just saw a scale change, so now it's playing a whole tone scale. And basically what it's doing is it's cycling through 4 different scales from Messiaen's modes of limited transposition, which is a bank that I had created, stored in the U-Scale. And then just by putting it into CV scale mode, by doing a long press on the scale button, it will respond to incoming CV and call up a scale type, a very useful function like we talked about in previous episodes. So we'll see it switch to a couple of scales as it makes its switch over. Now I'm running the sequences relatively fast compared to where I normally would, just so that we can see them update more often as a demonstration throughout this video. It's really easy to take one of them. There we go. That's a change to another mode. And this is an interesting mode of limited transposition in that it's 3 semitones, and then it skips 1, 3 semitones, skips 1, 3 semitones, and skips 1. So it's capable of producing all kinds of oddball, diminished stack fourths, and weird kinds of harmonies and melodies. And then we're just going to take a quick look at our LFO. So this, you might recall, is the LFO that I've got set up. It's probably easiest to watch it right down there. So this triangular LFO from the double end Dore, that's basically a function generator in cycling mode, is what drives the quantizer. and its rate is being modulated. That's what this yellow cable does from the Pittsburgh sequence that's running right under it. So as the Pittsburgh sequencer's voltage rises, then this function generator will speed up. And that's what I'm doing to compensate for all of the sample. And there you can see now it's starting to speed up as we're getting to some of the higher voltage sections of the sequence. So I'm doing this just to compensate for the sample and holds that are grabbing notes from the quantizer with their Krell functions, just so that we don't hear that background LFO too much and they're still somewhat random and still somewhat melodic and not just climbing up and down. And that's as fast as it goes. That's topped right out. So typically to record a piece like this, I would spend a lot of time running this sequence and tuning in the range of this function generator when it's running at its slowest and it's running at its highest, just so that I'm pleased with what the output that we're getting from it is. I hope you've enjoyed our look at the gigantic generative Polykrell so far. I do have more videos coming as we explore this gigantic patch. Please like and subscribe, and please consider joining my Patreon. We'll continue this patching in the next video. Thanks so much, and see you next time.